And here we go. What's going on, guys? Vag here. Been a while since you've seen the commando, although she's only gone up about 10 levels. She was 31 on the last video and only 41 now. Haven't been playing her as much as I'd like to, but that's not the point. Let's get right into part 2 of my healing guide, more so a remake of the original. More to the point, more concise, and yeah, let's jump into it. I say it in every one of my videos that I have done almost always with the hammer shot with the combat support cell up. Do that as much as you can. This will build up your supercharge. See it going up by 3 every time. It always goes up by 3 when you shoot with hammer shot. Once you get that all the way up to 30, you will notice supercharge cells lights up down here on my bar. And what that's going to do is it's going to convert 30 charges of combat support cell to supercharge your blaster. Restores 8 energy cells and increases all damage and healing dealt by 5% for 10 seconds. While it's active, really the only thing you need to worry about is advanced medical probes cooldown, your smaller heal, your less expensive heal. The cooldown is reduced by 100%. This will run out. Oh, first responder. This will run out in a minute if you do not use any heals. Just something to keep in mind if you're PvPing or running a flashpoint, you're standing around. You don't want to have your group wait for you to shoot the whole way back up to supercharged 30. So what that's going to, like I said, what that's going to do is your advanced medical probe is going to have no cooldown, which means you can do this to heal. And let me tell you, I didn't pop it. Fail already. 1 minute and 50 seconds into the video and already a fail. You can do this. 1.4 second cast. I'm just rapidly tapping the button, and look at all those numbers going up on Ilara. Until it's run out, you can see I still have 4, and I can even pop another 2 medical probes before I'm completely out of ammo. And also it refunds 12 supercharge with those 2 medical probes. They don't always restore that much. I have a perk that my medical probes restore more. Let's see if I can find it here. Supercharged gas isn't, supercharged cells isn't actually a third one up, so you don't always have it. You don't get it right away. Man, I cannot find it anywhere. Nope. Can't find it. Oh, this is bad. There we go. Field medicine increases the healing done by medical probe and advanced medical probe by 6%. In addition, medical probe builds 6 charges of combat support cell. Grab that. That is a must-have, at least for me. Screw those other builds out there. Screw those perfectionist builds. This is how I heal. This is how I've found it the easiest. Obviously, I don't have all my points sorted out yet. I'll get to it. You know, a little bit of aim. That's not what I thought it was. Maybe a little bit of alacrity, depending on how I gear up. Accuracy's not, you don't need accuracy for that, so. Definitely Havoc rounds, I use Colto Bomb a lot. So, like I said, with that perk, Medical Probe is going to increase it by 6. Now remember, Hammer Shot by 3. You see it right there? Oops, that's not what I wanted. Get that out of there. Medical Probe by 6. 6. Everything is a minute, whether it's 1, that's not possible. Whether it's 3 or 30 charges, it is always a minute until we'll do anything else. So let's pretend for a moment that Ilara is our tank. Here's how I do flashpoints, and for the most part, PvP. Oh, sorry, my throat's a little dry and I got nothing to drink. For the most part, what I will do is, obviously, let's get this supercharge up here really quick. As you can see, even just by shooting it goes up pretty quick, so it's not a huge issue. So what I like to do is I'll always keep this at 30. And in between pulls, I mean, it might annoy some tanks, but I'm sitting there doing this the entire time, just shooting. It just makes sure that supercharge is just, because if I don't do that, I'll forget. Also, at the beginning of the pull, you can get first responder. See, it keeps resetting. I mean, it's always resetting. First responder is right here. Critical results with damage and healing abilities have a 100% chance to grant first responder, increasing alacrity by 3% for 6 seconds. So this is why it's important, especially as a commando healer, in my opinion. Again, this is all my opinion. Don't take it as gospel and If somebody tells you it's wrong, don't come back here and say, "Oh, he told me to do this." Well, yeah, that's how I do it. That's why getting your crit to 20, or whatever it is now, mine's still at 20, and I can heal through the hard mode, so if they ever change it, or if they have changed it, I don't really care. I keep it at what Noxic tells me to. That's the site I use. I'll get my crit to 20, that way with the agent buff, which I don't believe I currently have, no I don't. With the agent buff, sorry guys, it's getting late. The agent buff or the scoundrel buff, it will give you plus 5% critical, which 25 I believe is when diminishing return starts. So at about 19.70, you know, somewhere in there, or 20.0, you know, as close as you can get it. As close as you can get it to 20 without going over 20 is what you want to do. That'll give you 25%. That's when you diminish return on critical. Especially important for a commando because every time I crit, let's just see if the numbers will get a little bit bigger. Come on. There it is, 144 first responder. What that means is my heals are going to go faster. See, 1.4, 1.9. We'll let this run out. We'll let this go back down. 1.4, 1.9. Now that's not enough just by itself. I thought it would be actually with the gear that I have. For some reason I was thinking that would be enough. I forget where it is. There it is. Alacrity rating. I thought that would be enough. It's not, so that was a fail. But with a little bit more alacrity in my gear, that extra, what was it, 3%. That extra 3% can actually help you out by a few seconds, and honestly, not a few seconds, a few tenths of a second, and honestly, you cut that down by a few tenths of a second, that can mean the difference in life and death. So I think it's a really nice perk to have, first responder. It just gives you a little bit more of a speed boost on your heals, and also alacrity helps with your recharge for your cells and such, and that 3%. Even if it's one cell where you just barely have 25 and you save your tank from dying, great, you know, it could come in handy. So I like to get it. Don't remember what the cap is on alacrity. I want to say it's like 75, but I think that's surge. I'm not sure alacrity has a diminishing return. But anyway, on to what I was going to go into. I keep this at 30 and throw this as much as I can. Colto Bomb. Now you see this is, and again I'm going to play like there's a bunch of morons watching this video. What this is going to do is Colto Bomb. You click the button, you hit the button on the keyboard, I'm confusing myself, and then this thing's going to come up. You don't click until you move it where you want it, and you click, and it throws it. And that whole area that it was just in, see I'm saying the whole way here and I'm getting the heals, is going to be a pool of healing. Oh boy. It's going to be a pool of healing. Especially with Colto Residue. Colto Bomb has a 100% chance to leave Colto Residue on affected targets, increasing all healing received by 3% for 15 seconds for allies, and reducing movement speed by 50% for 3 seconds up to 5 enemies. That second half is not really, I mean, maybe in PvP when you're running away and you need to heal yourself with it, which I'll get to that in a second. You can slow people down, but I only grab it for the healing increase. Getting off topic once more for a moment, especially with a Sorc healer. Sorc throws down his AoE, you throw your Colto Bomb in that AoE, get everybody in it first, and then throw your Colto Bomb down. Not only will you increase the healing from your Colto Bomb and speed up the healing from both of your heals at the same time, but the Sorcerer's heal will also do more, because even if it's already started to tick, will do more because of that Colto Residue. So it's a nice little combo for a Sorc Merc, or Circ, or Sage Commando combo, duo. Team. So I will throw these as much as possible. This is how I heal flashpoints most of the time, like this. Couple that with Trauma Probe. Deploys a Trauma Probe with 10 charges that last 5 minutes. Wrong-o. Trauma Probe. Oh, no, that's not the right one. Where is it? 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 Oh, that was a fail again. There it is. Increases the healing done by Trauma Probe by 15%, increases the max number of charges by 3, and reduces the rate limit by 1 second. So what that means is that not only does it lower how often it can proc and heal when the target that is affected by it gets hit, but it also gives it more charges, which is great. You can never have enough charges of Trauma Probe. So what I'll do is I'll keep my supercharge popped off. We don't really need to do it. You can just pretend it popped off. Throw my Colto Bombs down, and always have Trauma Probe on. Now it's got 12 charges right now because I have 2 points in Frontline Medic, or not Frontline Medic, excuse me, Probe Medic. So it has 12 charges. Now, as the tank gets hit, every time it procs, which is every 2 seconds right now, it'll go down, obviously. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whichever comes first, that or 4 minutes and 33 seconds. If you have this much energy, or ammo, if you have this much ammo, don't bother. Don't want another. I mean, it's a 16 cost, so at as much ammo as it takes to actually heal for over 1,000, you're healing for 300, maybe that many times, but it's only going to subtract, basically that subtracts 335 to 368 damage from the attack, and it's not always that. Sometimes it could be 100. That's just an estimate. So if you aren't, I usually don't use it unless it's in between fights, and if I'm able to keep the tank alive like this. Skelter Bomb's only 16, but with the rapid healing that you get from it, that's why I can keep people I can keep people's sorry guys. I can keep people's health up just by shooting like that, because the Colto Bombs heal over time, which is almost as much as my 79 to 85, almost as much as my free hammer shot. You figure, do the math. Big heal there, boom, 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 all those numbers. Usually, say this ran out, time expired. Come on, Laura. Really? I can't get that off. Really? Anyway, we'll pretend. Charmer Probe's no longer there. Unless I'm, right about here, I'll throw another Charmer Probe on. Sure, why not? And then I'll start shooting. And I'll throw another Colto Bomb. You gotta watch the timer. If you go into your preferences, I jump all over the place, I know, guys, but this is important for me because I use it. If you go into your options, I'll go from the beginning, I wasn't really paying attention. Preferences, user interface, scroll down past map, tooltip, social center, operations frames, cooldown settings, right there, cooldown setting. Show cooldown text. That's not on by default. Just click this box, you can choose the style. There's different overlays for it, touch right here. And then that. I just never fooled with it, I like the original one. But this gives you numbers, so I can glance at that, my bar, and see 3, 1, 0, cooldown, not exact, but I can estimate. 2, 1, okay, it's probably up by now. And if I need to, I look at my bar, don't get me wrong, I'm not that good. But if I need to, AoE drops down by the boss and I need to move, and I've just thrown it, I can go, okay, 4, 3, 2, 1, I get to a safe spot, I can probably throw it again, and I'm stuck in the ship. Imagine that. And oh wow, it killed me. Well, this is turning out to be a bust. Floating around in space. You can pay attention that way and estimate when you need to throw it again. So that really helps me. Especially with Advanced Medical Probe, since it's got an 8-second cooldown, really helps me out. So now that the healer has died in her own ship, after getting stuck in whatever that was, the video shall continue. So yeah, Colto Bomb coupled with Hammer Shot is a great combo. You can normally keep people topped off. If your tank's doing his job and your DPS is handling ads, let's go over here, this will work. M14X is going to be our tank, and the chairs back here are going to be our ranged DPS. Or they could be melee fighting ads. We'll do with these 3 chairs right here. You can't see the mouse. These chairs right here. Let's play with these. M14X is our tank. We can shoot him with this and throw our Colto Bomb. He's tanking, blah, blah, blah. Keep shooting. Left-click your mouse. Now, you can right-click and turn as well. I just left-click because that's just how I do it. You can look away from your target and heal them. It will automatically snap. See how I'm looking that way? Well, once I heal him, it snaps. Okay. You can do that unless you're moving. See how I'm moving? You can hear me hitting. Oh, now it's... Okay, it shouldn't be. There we go. Some of it isn't. But if I'm running this way and I'm hitting it, it's not going to heal him. If I'm running completely away from him and moving, it's not going to heal him. If I stop, it will. Something to do with the camera, I guess. I like it that way. I think it's stupid that you move and you have to turn and face, and then if your tank moves, you have to turn with them. It's too much. So, really nice. So to do that, you can right-click or left-click. I just left-click because left-click doesn't move my character. My right-click does. I move around with my mouse. holding right click. Turn to left camera, your DPS is back here fighting, and if they're fighting ads, they're going to take some damage. You know, that happens, obviously. Everybody who plays a healer or runs a flashpoint or a dungeon in any MMO knows that. Your DPS is going to take a little bit of damage. What's nice about the commando healer is I can keep firing this free heal to my tank to keep his health, you know, at a reasonable level. And what I can do while my camera is turned is I can throw that Culto Bomb over here. Boom. Throw it. DPS gets topped off, they get healed up a little bit, go back to firing the tank. And what's nice as well with the trauma probe is I can throw this, put the trauma probe on the tank, keep firing. By the time I get that trauma probe up and this heal is done topping my DPS off, while shooting my hammer shot, my ammo is already all the way back up. So that makes it really easy. But again, really easy to keep your whole group topped off. Oh, weird camera. Because of this Culto Bomb. It is a godsend. I love it. I can only hope that in any other MMOs I play or any other games, different healing classes exist like this, because I've really enjoyed the commando. I've never healed in any MMO. I was always like, oh, those fairy mages, you know, because that's almost some of the only healing classes we have in MMOs. I saw the commando, or the merc rather, and I thought, you know, I started out DPS. I got to maybe level 20 as DPS, and I was like, you know what? The healing looks really cool with those scans and the, you know, rapid fire and the guns at people. It looks really cool. So I'm gonna try it. You know, maybe I'll like healing. Who knows? And I did. I love it. It's my favorite class to play now. DPS rotations are always just changing, and I'm not great at remembering to look for certain procs and look for this and that. So for me, healing is the way to go. I love it. So I have the merc and the commando. Still trying the sorcerer heals. I'll have an update on that. Another update on that pretty soon, probably. But getting off topic. Culto Bomb and Hammer Shot are your bread and butter as your commander. Like I said, you can move it around. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. Moving on to our next healing ability, you have Advanced Medical Probe and Medical Probe. Advanced Medical Probe are pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to spend 2 minutes on these because the video is already up to 17 minutes and I've only gotten past the first two things that I do. Advanced Medical Probe, there is a perk in the skill tree that when you use... right here, no. Dear God, 1 minute more and then forget about it. There it is. Advanced Medical Probe has 100% chance to reduce the energy cell cost of your next Medical Probe by 8. So when you can, whenever Advanced Medical Probe is off cooldown, use it first. Even, you know, if your tank's like down 2,000 health left, pop your big heal as quick as you can. But you know, it's all about judging. You get better at judging what your tank can and cannot survive. You know, how much health is good, how much health is not good, what heal to use when. You know, it all just comes in time. But a trick I use, other than just knowing my player, if their health is below 3/4 and they are still actively tanking, give them a big heal. Or if you think you can, Culto Bomb, Hammer Shot. If they can survive, if they're down to 75%, throw them an Advanced Medical Probe. Might heal them all the way up, might not. They might take a big hit, but that way your proc is already up, and you need to. If you start casting at 2 seconds and it goes off, it will not have the energy cost. So you do need to use it before that runs out. That way your proc is already up to reduce the energy cost of your next one. Your DPS is taking damage instead of throwing a Culto Bomb. Say the DPS is behind us here, and you're throwing Culto Bombs. DPS takes a big hit. Use your Advanced Medical Probe on him. Turn yourself back around if you need to. Look at the tank. You know, target him again. That way, if he takes a big hit, your Medical Probe is already procced to cost less ammo. So those are pretty self-explanatory. Always use Advanced Medical Probe when you can, first before your Medical Probe. Because as you can see, by the time I cast that, the ammo that I spent for Advanced is already gone. Has already refunded. Moving on again, real quick, Reactive Shield. Great ability for commandos, especially in PvP healing. Also useful in ops, of course, with mobs actually attacking the healer and whatnot. It can be extremely difficult to heal while you're being pelted with blaster fire and beaten over the head with a lightsaber. Reactive Shield is a combat shield rather is a perk in the tree. Reactive Shield now further decreases ability activation pushback by 30%. Excuse me, and makes you immune to interrupts. God, that's amazing. Considering your Reactive Shield lasts for 12 seconds. What that means is when you cast, obviously, again, I'm talking to a bunch of idiots, I'm not. When you cast and you get hit, your bar suffers a push. It takes a little bit longer to cast abilities. For the entire 12 seconds this shield is up, that is reduced by 30%. Also, how many times have you gone to heal somebody, mostly in PvP, but like I said, this ability is useful in PvE as well. Have you gone to heal somebody and, oh, boom, interrupt, jolt, oh, stun knife, oh, I can't, advanced medical probe, oh, another jolt, oh, another knife, you get interrupt every time you try to heal. It's so frustrating. It will not happen with this ability. Combat shield will not happen. Immune to interrupts. It means exactly what you think it means. It's great. Now, you can be pushed. If a Juggernaut or a Guardian or whatever, if you're doing a simulation, I guess, if you get pushed, if you get knocked back by an overload or anything like that, a concussion charge, a jet boost, you will interrupt. Hold the line, however, grants 6 seconds of immunity from all movement impairing effects, knockdowns, and physics, and also increases movement speed by 30%. Also extremely useful for getting away in PvP, but I won't dwell on that too much because it's PvP. Only works in combat, though. If you're out of combat, you get no speed boost whatsoever. So, reactive shield, wonderful godsend. Diversion. Now, there's a huge misconception of how this ability actually works. Let's get that off there. This does not dump your aggro and make the enemy find another target. This isn't Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Origins really, where you have Mind Blast and it takes all aggro and they automatically go to another target. What this is going to do is it's going to drop your aggro enough that the first person to attack that target after you pop it, the target will most likely go to them. So I'm going to use it, say M14X is in my face, he's hitting me, I'm going to use it, back away a little bit, don't attack him back, and for a few seconds, maybe sparingly on the heals, so you don't overheal the tank and pick up the aggro again. First DPS to come by and whack that thing in the face with its lightsaber it's going to go after them. Diversion just drops a moderate amount of aggro, not all of it. Field Aid. Mostly a PvE ability. It's all about knowing the fights, knowing what to cleanse. I'm sorry, I'm bored standing here. I'm going to run around the ship while I talk. No, it's going to be too distracting. Mostly a PvE thing. It's just all about knowing what to cleanse, what flashpoints cleanse what, all this other stuff. So, that's that. It's pretty self-explanatory. There is a perk in here that adds a little bit of healing to it. Where was it? Right here? No. There it is. Field Aid now removes negative mental effects and heals the target for 147 to 519. Pretty big gap, 147 to 519, but, it's useful. You have to cure your target. It heals a little bit of the damage they might have taken from that negative effect. One thing to keep in mind, in PvP, Sorc and Assassin dots I don't believe can be cured off anymore, because the Madness spec was completely ridiculously broken, as in didn't work, because all the dots were just being instantly cleansed. Just like that. And even if it didn't cleanse them all, it's a 3-second cooldown, cleanse the next one. They didn't really have time to do their damage. So, one last ability. We can't forget about this one because it's probably the most important ability on your tree for your burst healing, which I'm going to show you burst healing in a moment. This will heal any tank or any DPS all the way up to full as long as the boss is not enraged and as long as the entire raid isn't on them. Recharge cells. Now, that's pretty self-explanatory. Recharges 50 energy cells over 3 seconds. Use this if you get too low. It's all about, to me, people say pop it if you fall below, like, 30 or something, and shoot hammer shot only when you fall below 60. No. Do what I tell you to do. Use that hammer shot as much as you can to keep your ammo up there in case you need that burst heals, which, like I said, I will show you here in a moment on M14X. Keep it. I don't use this unless I really need to, and I will make sure to call it out when I'm about to use it here. So this is how I burst heal. We are just going to fly through here and throw M14X all the heals we possibly can. So, pop supercharged gas, advanced medical probe, advanced medical probe, advanced medical probe, advanced medical probe, colto bomb. Pop the recharge cells. Healing. Medical probe. Medical probe. Medical probe. Hammer shot. Keep it on there. Advanced. And medical probe. This should be the last one we can do. Yep, right there. And No ammo, my supercharged cells is right back up. You saw all the numbers he got just from that. Now, timed better and not just dumped like that, I could have kept him up for a while. But this whole time I'm recharging here, I can be throwing in a few Colto bombs. See, I'll do it from here, and you'll see my ammo will go up considerably. It will go back up to full before this Colto residue is gone. Even the periodic healing from the Colto bomb itself. So that's burst healing. Even without the recharge cells. If you want to heal him quickly, just spam advanced. If you want to heal him for a lot, alternate. Advanced medical probe, advanced medical, because it, again, reduces the cost of your medical probe. So right here, throw a Colto bomb, all about knowing when to stop, and then start shooting. And then normally I would pop recharge cells either now or when I got to here in energy. That's burst healing on the commando, that's how I do it. Again, if you're in PvP, you might want to pop your shield and your hold the line just so you don't get interrupted while trying to keep people alive. Adrenaline rush, I should probably touch on this real quick. Basically it heals you pretty quickly and gives you a little bit of defense, I think, when you're below 30% health. So it's more a PvP thing, but it can keep you alive in PvE if you get hit by ads. So always something to keep in mind. Anyway, hopefully the video wasn't too rambly, it wasn't too long for you to watch. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Hopefully you got some kind of strategy off of the video. If not, just keep rewinding it and pausing it, playing it, pausing it, playing it, until you completely understand what the freak I'm talking about. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this helps some of you. And I'll see you next time. Finn.